Hey everybody, welcome back to How to Make a Soundtrack. Today I'm gonna show you a track that I made, a rock and roll track, and I'm gonna teach you how to record the guitar in your computer and how to make a riff, all that cool stuff. So this is the amp I'm using. It's a Laney LV100. If you want to record it, you can put a microphone like this. Pretend this is a microphone, okay? You put the microphone really close to the amp and just record it, but careful not to turn up the amp too high, too loud, or it might destroy your microphone. The way I recorded the guitar in this track a few years ago, I used this plug here, stealth plug. It's a really cheap cable, and it allows you to connect the guitar directly to your computer. So you plug this into your guitar and this USB goes into the computer. It's not a great way to record because it generates a lot of noise because you don't amplify the sound of the guitar beforehand. So the signal going into the computer is really low and you have to turn up the gain a lot in the computer. And when you do that, you turn up the gain of the volume of the noise too. So what I did back then was I plugged in the guitar into my amp, and after the signal was amplified, I plugged this into the back of the amp in the headphone plug. There's a plug where you plug your headphone to listen. I don't recommend doing that because I heard some people say that it can damage your amp. Plus, the best way to record is just to put a microphone in your amp, plug the guitar into the amp, put a microphone there, and record it. Now, I'm gonna actually play this track for you. It's called Zombie Nightmare. Full track is in my channel if you want to listen to it. It's an action track for a zombie battle, and I wanted to create this really heavy rock and roll riff. I created this kind of heavy metal riff. So a few things before I talk about the riff. This guitar here is a Les Paul standard Epiphone. The cool thing about it to me is that the sound of this guitar is really heavy. It has a really heavy tone because it has these humbucker pickups here. The Stratocaster has single coil pickups, which is great to create a variety of sounds, but the Les Paul has this really cool, dirty, heavy tone. And I'm also using a different tuning in this guitar. It's in E flat, so I just tuned every string half step below. You get to use this really low chord of E flat. Also the strings become looser, so it really changes the tone of the guitar. So let's talk about the riff now. I start off in G minor. The G is here because we're in E flat, so it's not here. So we define the key of G minor right away, but then I played the E flat minor. It was supposed, if we were in the scale of G minor, it was supposed to be an E flat major, but I played the minor chord, so it creates a lot of tension here in these notes because it starts in G and then with the minor third of the E flat chord, it uses this note here, the G flat. Since I have this major 7th here instead of the minor 7th, I defined the scale of the harmonic minor scale of G, which has this major 7th, and it's really tense because it's so close to the root. And in the second and the next chord of the sequence, I want to reinforce this major 7th. So I play a power chord right in this major 7th. So far it's like this. So really reinforcing the harmonic minor scale here. And next I play the G minor again, and then I go to a diminished chord. This is like raising the sticks a little bit because I'm raising up here and going to this really tense chord, the diminished chord. So I'm just playing power chords, but the synth is harmonizing them by playing this melody here. And then when I go to E flat minor, I play. I'm intentionally playing this note often to reinforce that scale. When it goes to the diminished chord, it's just a power chord, but again the synth is harmonizing it. So let me show you the synth here. I want to talk a little bit about the rhythm of these strums. I'm alternating between muted strums and open strums without muting anything. In a muted strum, I'm muting the strings here using the palm of my hand. And it sounds really muffled and deep. And an open strum is without muting anything, it sounds more aggressive. So if I alternate between these, first I'm gonna play a simplified version. So the muted strums are going well with the kick and the first and third beats because the kick drum is low, it has a lot of low end, and the open strums are going well with the snare, which is more aggressive, has more high end. And I have this cool, I have this burst of strums here in the second beat. It goes like this. It's a quick burst of 3 strums. A simplified version of this rhythm would be like this. But with the burst of strums in the second beat, it gives a lot of attack and aggressiveness to that second beat. That's it for today's episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.